Yeah, so at some point a builder's gonna make it out there. And he's gonna cut that one down. And then next time... I might as well recruit these 3. One of them is your errand builder. I believe. Might not...
finally, they did get the one cut down.
Okay, cool. Here, seeing as he's here, start cutting these down.
Start cutting them down.
Yeah, might as well waste him while he's here. Because, yeah, effectively...
And then I'll flee.
Yeah.
As soon as I catch
We'll probably want to clear cut back to that one or something. The one thing is... Here, you're... No. Don't pepper the...
Why not? Why don't you just keep cutting?
True. Just a waste of money. Because he's not going to make it back.
Really?
Look at him. He's got no sense of urgency. Why waste your money to save...
4 more coins, though, would deter them. Oh.
I mean, that's set.
Ow!
The main problem is just, he is also clinically stupid.
Oh, and I got my bum butted into.
And now you don't have any,
Now I don't have any coins.
Yeah. Those guys might even need a re-recruit.
Well, we have been hoarding all of our gold, so...
Yeah, this would be easier if I had the dragon. Next island. Okay, so these 3 made it. Did they not have any money for me? Alright, do you want to go... How much money? You have no money. You want to go down the right side?
Okay.
And see what they've picked up? I mean, realistically, we really don't need to build the wall out there.
Well, I thought you wanted to have a Tanuki hunting ground.
No, I mean on the left side.
Takes a long time to venture into town. This is probably why we need portals. 25?
I'll clear cut a little bit of this.
Oh, I forgot. I built so far out, almost to the docks. That means in order to gather anything from my men, I'm going to have to go all the way to the opposite side of the island.
Yeah, this is what portals are for.
Should I build this portal up whenever I get enough money from them?
Yeah, because you should get a fair chunk from these guys.
Yeah, there we go. I got a fair chunk. Okay, so build this portal?
Yep.
And then how do I build a portal at the other end?
So just build it first.
Okay, I just want to make sure I have enough coin.
I mean, they might... You absolutely have enough, by the way.
Okay. Well, but there's no harm in getting more. Okay.
I mean, it is if it starts falling out on the ground.
Okay. So we're gonna get this built.
I really wish you could just pick one builder and just tell them to ride with you.
Now that would be beneficial.
And I would not... Oh.
Do I have enough coin?
Get the portal going first.
Well, I already have the other portal going.
Well, no, you have to build it on the other side, which costs money.
Right.
Oh, we have no builders.
Uh-oh.
Chill, keep going left before they give you more.
Guys.
Yeah, don't stand there and say, uh-oh. It's like spilling grape juice on your keyboard and staring at it. Being like, oh no!
Stop shaming me. You haven't really been chatting or role-playing much this particular game. It's just been Do this, Michelle. Do that, Michelle.
I am a grim taskmaster.
Well, at least have fun with it.
I am having fun with it. We are doing really well, though.
I suppose.
I mean, we had just gotten here to this island at this point on our last run. And now we're done with this island at this point. Like, remember how we more or less made it to Island 3, ran out of bunnies within, like, a day, and then, like, had to go full fishmonger because we had nothing else?
Mm-hmm. No, we're pretty well prepared for the winter. We made our stores. I suppose it's like the old Aesop fable.
I'd just buy Max Hammer because
grasshopper.
we've lost so many dudes.
The grasshopper and the ant. You're familiar with the grasshopper and the ant, correct?
You know, I'm actually not very...
I can do it. I can tell the tale. That's my favorite thing.
You were fishing for this.
All right. So I will recount the tale of the grasshopper and the ant. So one day, Grasshopper was lazing about, quite happy with himself. He was beautiful. He was elegant. He was munching on the fresh, blades of grass. And he spies upon an ant. And the ant is laboring hard. The ant has upon his back a massive seed. And he's carrying it back to the ant den, the ant hole, the ant colony. That's correct. So the grasshopper, unfortunate soul, he says to himself. And the next day, the ant's doing it again. He's also dragging back more food to the anthill. And the grasshopper finally asks, "Ant, why is it that you work all day long? Look, the weather is beautiful, the sky is blue, there's copious amounts of food to be had all around you. Why is it that you are gathering these heavy objects and toiling to bring them back to your colony when you're not truly living, you're not benefiting from the fruits of your labor?" And the ant says, "Well, I am preparing for the future. I'm preparing for what's to come. I'm bringing this back to my colony and setting it aside, and then I will be able to enjoy it later." And the grasshopper didn't comprehend this because he wanted everything then and now. And so then the leaves began to turn. I suppose I should make the portal, correct?
How much gold do you have?
I
You
have
need
about
10.
Oh, that's not good. 10 total?
Yeah, because effectively you warp to a location, and then you
Have to pay 8.
then you have to pay 8 to rebuild it. Why is Shell doing story time? What else are we talking about?
Nope, I don't have enough. So, the leaves turned, the air grew cold, and the earth started to freeze beneath their tiny insectoid toes. And the grasshopper found himself out in the cold,
Dying,
alone.
because that's his lot in life.
Well, yes, that too. In any case, then he spies upon the ant and the anthill and how well stocked it is and how all the ants are so well fed. And it was, precisely what the ant had said. Be able to enjoy the fruits of his labor later. And I'm pretty sure there are more gruesome versions where maybe the ant comes across grasshopper dying, or I don't know if...
Or all of the ants died for winter anyway, because that's what happened to ants, happens to ants too. Well, they don't live long.
But the queen ants survive.
Well, yeah, the queen ants survive.
The queen ants survive for many years. Same with wasps.
Yeah, keep in mind, grasshopper's lifespan is about a single year. I like it, like, once you start learning the science behind this stuff, it's like Aesop's fables get kind of dumb.
It doesn't make sense because you're right. The grasshopper's life is so ephemeral, it's going to dissipate within the year anyway. So yeah, you don't have to prepare or toil. But, I don't know. The whole moral of that story was just to, in good times or in times of plenty, prepare for the future and set aside things for when the bad comes in. Something like that. There's probably a shorter, more concise version. Wait, what?
Instead of Aesop's Fables, Aesop's Lies. Okay. We tried doing a build your own Aesop's Fable. What is an Aesop's anti-fable?
Wait, no, we were building a fairy tale.
We built a fairy tale. We built a fairy tale, and then we considered making an Aesop's Fable, but it didn't seem like it was gonna work really that well.
No, it was just because you chose...
Did you warp or did you walk?
I walked.
Okay.
No, it was because you chose two types of animal that didn't
don't
really...
go by the banker, by the way. He's going to shower you in more money than you can hold.
Oh.
I'm gonna go grab money and then I'll hand it to you.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, I think the two animals that you had given me were the octopus and the dung beetle, and it just...
Yeah, you had nothing.
It was a little too inconvenient.
Sorry.
I could have done something like, say, the dung beetle and the hermit crab, because it could be about how the hermit crab was, say, wanting to purchase a new shell and was going to get someone to sculpt it especially for them, but they would require like a higher payment than, say, the dung beetle.
Okay,
and
can you
then,
come to me?
Wanting to be cheap, the dung beetle is like, well, the crab is like, sure, I'll buy a shell off of you, dung beetle. What can you sculpt for me? Dung beetle crafts something out of,
okay,
well,
don't grab
dung.
anymore. And
because he's crafted something out of dung, when the hermit crab hits the water, the dung shell just dissipates. And then the Aesop's Fable, for that would be you get what you pay for. Poor dung beetle. Huh?
Banker man, take your money back. No, stop giving me more! Oh no! Shoot. I'm trying to give money to the banker man.
Mm-hmm.
But he can't. Oh, no! Stop! Oh, screw it. I'm just gonna fund the boat. I'm trying to save for winter, but every time I get near to the guy, he just gives me more money.
Okay, so now you want me to build.
I can't save.
Oh.
Instead of what you buy, what you buying? It's.
So, do you want me to use this?
Oh, withdrawal? Don't mind if I do. Ah!
Wander, how do I do this? So I teleport through and then I build something on the opposite side? How does it work?
Yeah, you teleport through, find an open space, mind you.
Open
it has to be
space.
nice and open. Take my money and don't give me any back. You anti-miser.
I don't know what's
Keep going, keep going. There. And then pop in the money. And
Okay.
now you have a portal.
Now I have a portal near the boat.
Yep. I do not know what to say about the bit war for today.
Bit war?
I mean, look at those values. They've risen while I was not paying attention. Holy butts, Varishawk, Crystallon, and Hydrowisp.
Did you want me to keep
Burrow, thank you
contributing?
all so much. Yeah, keep the boat going. Might as well. Did you finish the lighthouse?
Oh, I haven't done the lighthouse. I should. Thank you, Archer. I will now come to this side, right where the lighthouse is situated. So...
Okay, so what's an Aesop's anti-fable?
It would have to be advice for something bad, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Or just useless advice. I guess it would probably be something bad. An Aesop's non-fable would be useless.
Maybe it doesn't even have an allegory. It's just a straight up... Take a quote, but take it literally.
Okay. A bird in hand is worth two in the bush. What am I gonna do with these birds? Why do I have a bush full of birds and a bird in my hand? It's squawking, it's pooping all over my boots. What am I supposed to do with this?
Oh no! I was a coin short and fell in the water.
What
Next
other
one.
like anti-stories, fables, and messages, or yeah, what other sayings are there that if you took them literally, they become nonsense?
I mean, don't go where you eat.
Oh, don't shit where you eat. Yeah.
So
Well,
the Aesop's
But no,
fable,
that absolutely makes perfect
It
sense.
makes-
I'm not gonna go poop on a plate.
it makes sense, but I'm talking about if you did a literal Aesop's fable with it. It would literally just be what something went.
Oh, this is
something went in a pond, and when they went to fish there the next day,
they caught a floater.
Rather than okay, the poop stuff is getting to be a bit too much. Dung
Bit
beetles.
shitty.
This is
Yeah,
terrible.
you think?
No more. No. I know that it was my suggestion, but because of the dung beetle thing, it was the first thing that came to mind.
Oh god, this Aesop's non-fable, The Legend of Dungulor. Because I got nothing better. Okay, this is a good one. The ant and the elephant wanted to go to the mountains. The ant took the bus, the elephant rode his bicycle. They both made it. That's it. Congrats.
So it doesn't
That
really...
is the most non-fable fable. Oh, jeez.
I suppose if it didn't really result in there being a lesson...
Yeah, there's no lesson.
Oh, since I'm riding the stag, I want to tell more Aesop's fables involving stags, because
No, tell us some more
several of
Aesop's
them.
non-fables.
No, but I like this one. It's sad.
I want another
All of
Legend
them
of
are sad.
Dungulor.
Oh.
Man, what day is it? Love. 55.
Mm-hmm.
16 days long. Ugh, oh, God, winter sucks.
I can lure more deer to their deaths. Speaking of,
I mean,
Aesop's fables.
do we want to just, like...
Do you want to know that there are some about luring their brethren to their death? There was one where a pigeon betrayed his entire clan to the eagle, and the eagle just decided to eat him out of spite.
Why did you do it, pigeon? Because I am clinically stupid, responded the pigeon. As he was consumed. The eagle laughed, and then flew away.
Or was that the one with the farmer? There were so many involving pigeons.
Well, I mean,
Because there was the farmer... Oh, no, maybe that one involved the fox. There was definitely one where... No, it was definitely the pigeon, where the farmer caught the pigeon eating his grain in the field, and the farmer's like, you know, I'm gonna bludgeon you to death.
Do we want to just,
And
like...
the pigeon goes, no, but I can lure my whole flock into your nets if you'll just let me go. And the farmer
And that is how
like,
that specific
you're
pigeon came to be known as a race traitor,
well,
and shunned from the rest of pigeon society for the rest of his days.
well, I think the farmer just ended up bludgeoning him because he's like, well, you're quite a foul beast if you would do that to your own kind. You deserve the fate that you'll receive here.
What a dick!
What?
Like the pigeon just like sacrifices all of its brethren, and the farmer's just like, don't mind if I do. What's one more pigeon against my honor?
You know.
Let's see. Have we cleared the docks? Cleared to the docks in the previous islands? Yup.
Yep. At least the ones that we've gotten to.
Apart from going to a new island midwinter, there's actually nothing for us to do, and I really don't want to do that. Because that sounds real risky.
Oh, did you ever hear about the one with the mouse, or the mice, and the mouse at council? That's another good one, too. So, there was this cat, and as within a cat's nature, it preyed upon the mice. So, the mice all came together, and they wanted to find a way to warn other mice of the cat's arrival, and they came up with the ingenious plan to strap a bell to its neck, you know, like a collar, in a way.
So they sacrificed their entire population to do so, therefore managing to warn the survivors, the non-existent survivors of the cat's arrival.
Well...
Is that actually how this goes?
No. The point was, when they all agreed upon it being a marvelous plan, they said, well, who among us will be the one to put the bell around the cat's neck? And no one raised their hands. You see what I mean?
For they had no hands, for they had paws. Haha.
And I think it was, don't present a plan if you yourself wouldn't go through with it.
Yeah.
It was something like that. Obviously, probably in more eloquent terms.
Okay.
What?
Here's one. Aesop's Fables, where you change the ending slightly to ruin the fable. So the scorpion and the frog, where the scorpion just goes along with it, doesn't sting the frog, reaches the other side, and they say bye, and that's the end of the story. What other Aesop's Fables do we have? Or
the frog ends up not getting betrayed by the scorpion, but they both get eaten by a fish. Like, that's a worse ending.
And then the bear comes along and just eats them because he was hungry, and winter is coming soon. Alright, I kind of want to just look up Aesop's Fables and then change the retelling and see if anybody notices.
Well, can I tell a legitimate one while you're at that? Okay, so this is the one about the stag and his antlers. So, one day, as with most days, the stag was marveling at his beautiful set of antlers. He was the most majestic animal in all the forest, and he took pride in that marvelous crest that rested at the top of his head. However, one day, the hounds sounded, and he was pursued by hunters. As he took flight... Oh yeah, that's the other thing too. He didn't like his legs. He thought that they were scrawny, and that the knees were far too... you know, they were protruding too much. He's like, oh, my legs, they're so disgusting. But he loved his antlers. Well, in any case, so... he was being pursued by the hunters. And sure enough, it was those knobbly legs that he so detested that carried him aloft and away from danger. But it was in that moment, when he thought that he was finally free, that his antlers, the antlers that he prided above all else, got caught in the branches of a tree. And they halted his progress, and the hounds came upon him, and he was hit by an arrow, and with his dying breath, he said,
"Man, my antlers are rad." And then he died.
No, he was gonna say, you know, alas, you know, it was the thing that I despised about myself that would have saved me, yet the thing I loved most that brought about my downfall.
Stags are critically stupid. They will absolutely... no, this is not it. They will absolutely just, like, kill themselves if it means, like, impressing a doe.
Well, there are several instances of stags and reindeer and elk and whatnot getting their antlers locked in combat, and then both of them end up dying.
Yep. Also, thank you, Rockbender, for the resub, and congrats, Hydrois, for becoming the top henchman of all time. There we go. I'm sorry, I realize this is not the sort of thing I normally do, but, like, people are throwing mad money at us, and I have to say thank you. Thank you both. Thank you all.
Here.
Okay.
Name an animal, and I'll
I got
probably have a story.
Okay.
Okay.
A bird was walking sedately along the bank of a stream, his eyes on the clear water. His long neck and large bill ready to snap up, a likely morsel for his breakfast. The clear water swarmed with fish, but the bird was hard to please that morning. No small fry for me, he said. Such a scanty fare is not fit for me. Now a fine young perch swam near. Oh shoot, it's kind of different. No indeed, said the bird. I wouldn't even trouble to open my beak for anything like that. Later, a beaver approached him, and he ate the beaver, for he was a pelican, and his beak was massive. It's supposed to be the heron passing up on all the food and eating a snail for dinner. And I was like, what if you just switch him to be like a pelican? Those things can fit like massive creatures in there. Have you ever like seen what a pelican can eat? It's horrifying.
Yeah.
They'll eat seagulls.
Pelicans eat seagulls?
Yeah, that's the wild part. Like I was like looking up at one point like weird facts about pelicans, and they just eat like, what is the largest thing a pelican can eat? Because it's like, it's disgustingly large.
I remember... Yeah. Aw. Well, here's a disgusting fact. If a snake doesn't successfully strangle or poison its prey to death, rats and mice will burrow out of their bodies.
Yeah, that's actually something very specific. If you work at a pet shop, Wander just randomly looks up absurd facts about pelicans. I see an image of like a pelican with like
and you go, oh, pelican, or you see something bulging
I'll see like
mouth.
an image of like a pelican with something like unreasonable in its beak, and I'm like, wait, hold up, I gotta look this up. What other nonsense can these things eat? And the answer is a lot, actually. Did I see it eat it? No, I just saw a pelican with a whole seagull and it's like sticking out of its like giant freaking maw. And I was just like, huh.
There are all these archers and there's nothing for them to hunt.
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of hunting over here. The frustrating part is they're not actually
going into the forest.
No. They only do that, I think, during the...
And there hasn't been anyone I can lure.
Oh well. I mean, we can always more or less raid the banker and go to hop on the boat and do some other stuff.
I suppose. How much money do we have saved up? Because we should really just go on to the next island.
Well, sort of. I mean, what's the problem? It is day 57. We've got 11 days? No, we got 7 days before winter ends. Going to another island could work if we were really thrifty.
I only have gems now at my disposal.
Yeah, okay, let's finish the boat, save a bunch of money, we could get a bit of a head start. See, why not cut down the trees on the left? Because it wouldn't do anything for us.
Except get you some money, but yeah.
Well, I mean, it would get us a little bit of cash, but that's straight up our only current income apart from interest. Because there's the occasional deer that come out of there. Like, that's an Aesop's anti-fable. I mean, I guess that's the fable of the golden goose where he just cuts the head off. But, the hunter was hungry, so one day he decided to chop down the whole woods in search of game. He found a fair amount of game. And then the following year, there was none left. The hunter went hungry and starved to death the following winter.
Your dog's barking all the time. So, there is another one about the wolf and the dog. Oh, there's a deer. And so, the wolf, he was underfed, he was starving, it was a harsh winter, and he hadn't been able to come across much for prey. And he saw a dog. Ah, no! I forgot there's still things on this side. Greed. Well, okay, in any case. So, the wolf asked the dog, you know, dog, how is it that you're so well fed? And dog says, well, my master provides me with food, and it's delicious. Oh, that's the deer. I thought there was the... Oh.
Grab the money, quick.
If I can...
I believe in you. You got it.
I got it just in time.
That is one hell of an arrow rain.
And so the wolf asks, well, how would I be able to either get your master or another human to provide me with food? And the dog says, well, you become obedient to them. You live in their house, and they put a collar around your neck and keep you on a chain. And the wolf just starts plodding off, and the dog's like, wait, where are you going? What are you doing? And the wolf says, you know, I'm not interested anymore. I would prefer lean freedom to fat slavery. And he went off. And I remember that line specifically because it had the, you know, lean freedom and then the whole, like, fat, like, servitude. The whole... I suppose, what do you call it? Is it like a... It's not a rhyme. It's some kind of juxtaposition. Not to say that... It doesn't mean, like, fat as in plump. It means fat as in well-fed. I suppose they would probably reword it. The book that I was reading from was derived from... Oh, probably the 1940s or 50s. It was one of my grandmother's books. And it had really pretty illustrations, so... That's the one that I had grown up reading.
What are you up to, by the way?
I'm just exploring, maybe luring some deer to their untimely demise.
Because I've finished the boat.
You finished the boat?
Yeah, so I'm gonna go get the, I'm gonna go get the Crusaders on it. Also, on our next island, we should feed that banker real hard.
Mm-hmm.
Because, it's a lot of money.
Yep. Yeah, so essentially the wolf was saying that they would rather not be chained and kept at the behest of some person, even if it meant security in that sense.
One day the farmer found a golden egg amongst the eggs left behind by his goose.
Yeah?
And so he took it to town and sold it for a nice sum, feeding him for the week. The next day he found another, and then another, until, in the end, no one felt charitable and bought any more of his rocks. For he was actually quite the dullard, and was imagining he had a goose at all.
What?
I was just making up dumb, like, nonsense. It's not even well written. But just like an insane person that thinks he has a goose. And people are buying rocks off of him because they feel bad for him, but eventually just give up because, like...
Look at all that money in the bank. Speaking of, there's another fable about a miser.
I think part of it is I'd have to actually sit and write these down. It's very hard to, like, just come up with, it's hard to just come up with, like, a full Aesop's fable that's, like, distinctly wrong.
Oh. I suppose so.
Let's see. By the way, I'd start, I'd go to the banker and fill out your pouch.
Oh, you want to sleep?
Yeah.
Yay! Finally.
So the one thing I will say is, he's gonna drop more money than you can hold.
So I have to run away.
So, as soon as it looks like it's gonna fill, or not even, because the animation's a bit slow, or alternatively, just buy bows until you have no money left. Because we're gonna need them here anyway. Let's see. Oh. Thank you, Hydra Wisp, for all of the bits tonight. Good night. Have a, I don't know, wonderful... What is it? I guess we have a week before Christmas.
It doesn't feel like Christmas to me because we have no decorations, no music, no snow.
Well, I wanted to listen to Christmas music the other night. You're like, no, it's bad. And I'm like, okay.
That's because it's modern. I don't like modern Christmas music.
I don't like that old Christmas music either. Like, I want to find just, like, kind of Christmassy music that isn't... Man, I don't even know.
I suppose what reminds me most of Christmas is I'm gonna have to go quickly.
Okay.
Okay. So he's the rest of it sort of sitting there.
I'll get the rest.
What reminds me most of Christmas is...
Here.
It would be an...
I'll hand you the rest of mine. Because that won't overload you. Oops.
Ah!
That should be fine.
That was barely teetering off the edge. So, reminds me of Christmases. We would always get artificial trees. I think we've probably only had 2 or 3 artificial trees in my family. But the one that I liked most, which they threw away recently, I'm actually rather upset about that.
No.
Wait, you don't want us to go yet?
Not yet. There's the other Crusader group is walking back.
Oh, I see. So the tree, you assembled it by first setting up the stand and the central stalk, and then on each layer there were 8 branches, and you had to, they were like on metal, these long metal hooks, and you had to fan them out because they were all built in with wire, and then you would hook them onto the tree. And I always enjoyed this process. Eventually, I was the only one either capable or who wanted to do it. So I just enjoyed it. Each layer had a different color associated with it based on like a little piece of tape that was at the very, very center of the metal rod and stuff. So it was fun organizing all of them and getting them prepared and then hooking each layer at a time. And then you put all of the lights on and everything. And during the whole process, we would play the Rosie O'Donnell Christmas album from, I think, the late 90s or early 2000s. It was on a CD. But essentially, it was Rosie O'Donnell, who my mother used to watch often before she started watching Oprah and stuff. There were all those talk shows back in the day. And she got together with a whole host of actors to sing Christmas songs with them, like various singers and such. So I think Cher was on there, and oh, who else? So many people. I mean, Miss Piggy.
Oh, they're on the boat. Time to go.
I think Miss Piggy was on there.
I guess I'll get it.
Angelica.
Grab the coin. Grab the coin.
Oh.
Well, too late.
Sorry. Wait, did I pay in or did
I think you paid in, actually.
I paid in.
Sorry. I
yeah,
thought I was.
They had Angelica from the Rugrats on it.
Oh,
It
well.
must have been the 90s. If Angelica on from the Rugrats was on that CD, singing with Rosie O'Donnell.
You should probably close those before they stale.
Oh, sorry. Because they were specifically singing, I saw Mommy kissing Santa Claus underneath the mistletoe last night. You know, like that.
Yeah.
And of course, Angelica had her really
it's spring.
obnoxious, cutesy voice.
A little early for spring, but works. Unless it suddenly becomes winter, at which point,